Welcome to the Palace of Auburn Hills in Michigan. It's an NBA Tuesday night on ESPN as we get set for the first of two meetings this season between the Detroit Pistons and the San Antonio Spurs. Now as the game gets underway, what's the key to success for Detroit tonight?
When you're preparing for LaMarcus Aldridge, go to the left block one step off and get ready to defend, because this guy has an array of shots that we have not seen in the NBA. He's got the turnaround to his right shoulder with the high release. He can beat you to the middle for the runner across the lane. He is a dynamic low post player in a league bereft of low post scorers.
The Spurs coming off a hard-earned win in their previous game against Brooklyn. Jeff, the game's a lot easier when you shoot that many free throws.
When you're putting together a roster, you have to have enough people on your team who have a history of drawing fouls, putting their opponent into the penalty, and then making free throws, timely free throws, and getting there over and over again. It's such an underrated aspect of winning NBA games. They got to the charity stripe, and they got the victory.
Duncan jump shot. Off the mark. Bad pass. Stolen by Ginobili. Goes to the goal. Manu Ginobili with a perfect delivery.
That's just a nice layup right there.
Oh, there's that Euro step move. Pretty. Alrighty, here's a chance to see that one again. The Pistons coming off an impressive win in their previous game against Brooklyn. Jeff, their shooting from long range was outstanding, and the most obvious reason for their victory.
You make threes, you win games. That was the determining factor in the last game that they played. The ball goes in, you look like a genius. The ball rims out, you're an idiot.
And he curls in at the rim. The Pistons with the offensive rebound to keep it alive. And a nice finish at the basket.
The finish of your defense always has to be blocking out and securing the defensive rebound. Here they didn't do it. Good pursuit. On the offensive board and allowed him to stick it right back in.
Down into the lane. No doubt about it. He hit him. It's called against Duncan. And he's off to the free throw line.
That's his first personal foul. Team foul number 1 for the Pistons.
First free throw, good. Good free throw shooting, knocks down a pair. Jeff, the Spurs fans so pumped up about this year. LaMarcus Aldridge is now in the starting lineup with the rest of these Spurs.
Without question, he's a tremendous offensive talent and is poised to take over as the first option for these Spurs when Tim Duncan finally departs. But I would be shocked, Mike, by the end of the year if they weren't up at the top of the Western Conference.
To Ginobili. He's averaging 13 points per game this season.
The assist from number 20, Manu Ginobili.
Curling in, adjusting in the air. There's the whistle. And it's back to the free throw line for 2 more free throws.
I love the way the NBA player can contort his body, take contact, and get the ball up to the basket, even when being fouled hard.
Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Detroit's leading San Antonio by a score of 14-9. Parker on the drive. To the rim. Can't knock it down.
Trying isn't enough. You've got to close and get there and then finish it off by contesting the shot.
And Detroit's called on the offensive foul.
Number 3.
Diao. Leonard forcing up the shot. Knocks it down. That's a two-pointer. And Kawhi Leonard with 6 points so far in the first.
And that's exactly the sort of thing we saw in their last game as well. Great ball movement, good sharing of the ball, and knowing where your teammates are best with it.
And he throws it down. And here's the replay with another look at that spectacular dunk. What a crowd pleaser. Parker against Jackson. Excellent ball movement. Great teamwork. Moves around the defender. Puts it up. Good finish inside.
When you see these type of plays in slow motion, only then do you realize how graceful and athletic they are.
To Ginobili. Oh, what a great dunk.
I love the way they're not complicating the game. Get the ball near the basket and then finish with strength.
And a backcourt violation called, so it'll be Spurs ball. Personnel changes for both sides right now. Changing in the matchups right now. Both coaches trying to make some changes.
One of the keys to winning in this league is not beating yourself. Both teams seem determined to beat themselves rather than their opponent.
Quick feedback. Oh, a nice runner. Nice finish around the rim. He's the league's top scorer this season. Jeff, you know the Spurs are going to come back strong and motivated. Last year they had a terrific season but lost in that first round, that heartbreaking Game 7. This team is going to be ready to make some noise.
I'm interested in following this, Mike, because they had to sacrifice some very good players. Corey Joseph, Marco Bellinelli. Are their perimeter players going to have to play more minutes? Is Tony Parker, Danny Green, Kawhi Leonard, are they going to have to play bigger minutes than we've seen them have to play in the past?
Green moving the ball around beautifully. Misses the two.
Poise and precision will get you a better quality shot than that. That's a bailout shot. That's a I'm going to try to get us back in and be a hero type of shot.
The two defenders swarm. Leonard nails it. That's a two-pointer. He's among the league leaders in scoring this season.
You pass to me, I pass to you. The ball doesn't stick, it constantly moves. When you play like that, your assist totals go up and everybody feels a part of it.
Gets past the defense. Nice. That's good for two. San Antonio's shooting. %50 from the field tonight. Gets in the paint. McDaniel finds room off the screen for the shot. Nice job drawing the foul. It's called against Diao, and he'll head to the line for the second time tonight.
For the Pistons,
Off the mark on the first free throw.
shooting 2.
And he's able to hit the second after missing that first one. Sends it to the corner. Quick release for three. Bang! From downtown. San Antonio's 3 for 5 from beyond the arc.
And that's exactly the sort of thing we saw in their last game as well. Great ball movement, good sharing of the ball, and knowing where your teammates are best with it.
Here are the latest scores from around the association. Oh, quick move gets inside. McDaniel fires. That's a 2. He's the league's top scorer this season.
Typically, that's not the shot you want, the contested 2. It worked out this time.
Detroit. Leading San Antonio by a score of 35-29. Here's the screen. Gets to the rim. Can't finish.
It's hard to close out on great shooters. Tremendous job right there, getting his hand up, mirroring the ball.
A whistle and a foul called against Aldridge. Picks up his first personal, and he'll head to the line with under 2 to go in the second.
Give him credit. He's been very solid at the free throw line tonight.
And fails to hit them both. Hits the first, misses the second. To Green. Green fires from downtown all alone. Puts it down.
Pound the offensive board. Get extra possessions. Great job in the pursuit of the basketball and then finishing at the rim.
McDaniel able to knock it down. The Pistons up by 7.
You don't want to make a living taking contested two-point jump shots, but here it worked out because of superior concentration.
Aldridge draws the double team. Nice pass. To Aldridge. Pass into the post. To the basket. Flips it up. Misses.
Driving the ball into the paint is the most important offensive tool in the game. He had a great look. He just missed it.
Jump shot for 2. Won't go.
He's a great shooter, but he could have driven the ball into the paint and made a play for his teammates.
Off the mark from point-blank range.
No paint game, no winning. You've got to get the ball at the basket, and then you've got to finish when you get it there.
Gets it off. That's a 2-pointer. Diao the rebound. Parker looking to dupe the defense. Draws the double team. Oh, he slams it through.
It's unusual, but not impossible to be a high field goal percentage shooter from the perimeter.
If you know what shots you shoot well and you take just those shots, you can do what this man does, which is shoot one of the top field goal percentages in our league.
Aldridge to the rim, count it, and one. Nice feed from Tony Parker. And LaMarcus Aldridge will go to the line with seconds to go here in the first half.
For San Antonio,
And he can't convert the free throw. And that'll do it. First half comes to an end. Detroit's up by 5. We'll have more Tuesday night. For so many years, of course, it was Duncan and Parker and Ginobili. Jeff, is Kawhi Leonard ready to take that next step and become really the face of the Spurs franchise?
Well, I think it's going to be Leonard and Aldridge in tandem to take over for that great trio of Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker. Together in tandem, what a duo.
They double him. The catch and fire away from downtown. Aldridge the rebound. He's averaging 9 boards per game this season.
That's become a familiar sight, watching him grab rebound after rebound. He's definitely putting in the work.
from number 2, Kawhi Leonard.
Detroit's leading San Antonio by a score of 40-37. There's the double team. Knifing through the defense. Nice touch at the basket.
Oh, that's nice right there. Good layup, good finish.
Double team closing in. Ginobili. The Spurs with control. And he puts it down.
Oh, that's a sweet finish right there. Dunking the ball with strength and force.
Gets that one to drop.
Look, you can't give up layups like that. You got to protect the basket and the paint at all costs.
Kicks it out to the corner. Parker. There's an interception. The two defenders converge. Moving the ball. Excellent teamwork. Oh, he takes him off the dribble for the layup. And we have a foul called against Duncan. Detroit shooting 81% from the line in tonight's game.
I love the way the NBA player can contort his body, take contact, and get the ball up to the basket, even when being fouled hard.
Able to convert on both free throws. Pass to the corner. Leonard on the drive, through all the traffic, and throws it down.
A look at the athleticism exploding up to finish with the hammer.
He curls inside. There's the whistle. Good job to draw the foul. Kawhi Leonard picks up his first foul of the night.
Man, I thought that was going to be an and one. Good strength, just flipped out.
And he hits the first free throw. And he makes them both. Detroit's leading San Antonio by a score of 48-41. To Duncan. Duncan for two, shoots away. And Andre Drummond with his 6th rebound.
I just love the way people are bouncing off of him as he goes up and snags the ball in traffic.
Whistle sounds out of bounds, so it'll be Spurs ball. Fires a nice cross-court pass. In the paint, and Detroit's called for their first team foul. And Kawhi Leonard will go to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
Hey, good offense your best players' hands in their best spot. And then all the great offensive players have a knack for drawing fouls. This great free throw shooter has earned his way to the charity stripe, and that's smart basketball.
McDaniel forcing against the smothering defense.
2 points.
Detroit's leading San Antonio by a score of 50-42. To Leonard. He's got 15 points in this game. The two defenders swarm to the basket, unable to flip it in.
The double team came hard and high and to the post player's body. That's what forced the difficult shot attempt and the miss.
Number 9, Tony Parker.
They double him. To Caldwell Pope. Looking to curl in. Slams it in.
Oh, that's nice right there. The finish at the rim with the nice dunk.
To Duncan. Leonard fires yet again, and the rebound grabbed by Drummond. He's averaging 7 rebounds per game this season.
That's become a familiar sight, watching him grab rebound after rebound. He's definitely putting in the work.
Team foul number 3.
And he connects on the first free throw.
Line for 2. Substitutions, San Antonio.
And gets both points from the line.
For Detroit, number 23, Ersan Ilyasova.
McCallum against Jackson. To Duncan. Leonard fires away, knocks down the shot, and Kawhi Leonard with 7 points in the third quarter.
Really liking the emphasis on ball movement tonight that's being established, just like it was in their previous game. It's just a great way to play basketball, but also to watch basketball.
McCollum into the front court. Nice ball movement to the rim. The two-pointer won't go.
And that was great defense to force that miss. He was right up in the shooter's face.
There's the double team. Curls in. Oh, he gets him to commit. Puts it in. And they extend the lead to double figures. He's the league's top scorer this season.
You need guys who can make shots under duress and pressure. That was a well-defended possession, but that man stuck it even against the best defense.
Goes to the goal, unable to flip it in.
Hey, you got to finish strong on those shots. You're right at the basket. You got to put the ball in the hole.
Tied up and has to pass. Right there, and it won't go.
I like it. I'm seeing more effort in the last couple minutes than we saw in the first half. It may not result in a win here tonight, but the effort is something they can build on going forward.
Double team closing in. McDaniel off the crossover. Good open shot. Off the rebound. Puts it right back up.
4-2.
Detroit's leading San Antonio by a score of 58-48. Sends it to the corner. Knocks down the jumper for 3. And Kawhi Leonard with 22 points.
That's efficient offense, generating a corner three-point make.
Forced to make the pass. Jackson from downtown. Pass to the top of the key. The two defenders converge. Ball loose again. Turnover forced by Leonard. Oh, and he throws it down. And here's another look at that amazing dunk. Well worth the replay. Two-second difference between the shot and game clock. Throws it down. What a play.
You're not going to see it much better than that from an offensive finishing point of view against quality NBA defense.
Pistons up by 4.
Stay with us for more NBA action after.
And looks like some substitutions going to be made now for the team.
Subbing in for San Antonio, number 20, Manu Ginobili.
The two defenders swarm. Gets it. It's good. And one.
That's great body control right there. Finishes the shot and now goes to the free throw line.
Number 3, shooting 1.
It's the free throw. 3-point play complete. Great look. Strong to the goal. What a finish from Boris Diaw. And here's another look at that solid finish at the rim.
Sometimes the simplest plays are the hardest ones to execute. Good layup.
Blows past his man. Here's the Euro step. Oh, that's a beauty. Drummond's trying to get down low. Nice move down the lane. Puts it down.
If that's the best he can do as a defender, then he has to come out and sit next to me as the coach. You've got to keep the ball handler out on the perimeter and make him take jump shots.
Detroit's leading San Antonio by a score of 74 to 63. Unable to flip it in.
Hey, that's a good look right there. Just couldn't get it in.
He dishes it inside. And a nice finish at the basket. That's a 12-2 run for the Pistons. To Diaw. Blows the whistle. Yep, backcourt violation called against the Spurs. And Kawhi Leonard called back into the game. He's back on the floor.
Number 2, Kawhi Leonard.
Ball's in.
And number 9, Tony Parker.
They double him. To Jackson. It's a loose ball. Stripped and stolen by Ginobili. Oh, what a play!
1 minute remaining in the fourth.
Lets it go. Converts on the inside. He's the league's top scorer this season. To Leonard. Lots of room there. And Andre Drummond with his 8th rebound. McDaniel. Boy, is he in the zone. Detroit's leading San Antonio by a score of 80 to 65. Parker against Jackson. Kicks it out to the corner. 1 second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Puts it down. What a play. And here's the replay with another look at that spectacular dunk. What a crowd pleaser. To Leonard. Screen set nicely. Lets it go. Tony Parker with his 7th assist of the night.
The assist from number 9.
At the rim. Good finish inside. And here's the replay with another look at that great finish at the rim.
Number 12, Aaron Baines.
minutes to gain. The final score is 84-67. For Jeff Van Gundy and our entire EA Sports crew, this is Mike Breen saying thanks for watching.
Jalen Rose here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Pistons were solid in today's victory. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they scored their points. Check out the leading scores for the Detroit Pistons. The Spurs put up a fight, but didn't get their hands raised at the end. I'm sure they can't help but feel frustrated with the result, but they can't let that feeling linger. Sooner than later, they need to start thinking about the next matchup. Check out the leading scores for the San Antonio Spurs.
Game track. Rebounds.
The Detroit Pistons should be proud of how well they dominated the boards in this matchup. Any coach will tell you how important it is to get rebounds, and this game provided all of the evidence you'd ever need to make their point. This segment wouldn't be complete without a look at the game stats.
Player of the game.
If you asked him, I'm sure he'd give the credit to his teammate and coaches. But at the end of the day, we know that he's the one that made the biggest impact on this game. And we conclude this segment with the shot chart.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in this game. Here we go with the top plays.
Number 3. Number 2. Number 1.
These are the latest scores when you take a look around the league. Have a look at the Eastern Conference standings. Here are the upcoming games for the Detroit Pistons. This has been a presentation of ESPN on EA Sports. Until next time, I'm Jalen Rose, signing off.